Hello guys, welcome back to the Stratus Forecast Weather Channel, and today's video we're going to be going over a potential winter storm that could be impacting the United States in about 10 days. I know it's a ways out, but it's still a thing I want to keep an eye on because the models have been persistent with this potential winter storm. This winter storm could evolve into a nor'easter for the Northeast, including lots of snow, potentially some hefty winds, and a lot more things to get into in this video. Before we start with this entire video, I'm also going to go over my final winter weather forecast for the 2024 into 2025 season. So, and then after that, we'll get into this next potential winter storm moving into the United States. So yeah, let's get right into this. Alright, so here we are in it looks a little bit messy and everything's not perfect, but this is my final look, or my final winter weather prediction for the 2024 into 2025 season. So this gives you a general idea. So I'm thinking there's going to be a jet stream that lines up right near into Canada, and it's going to take this kind of really deep southerly turn, and then it's going to come up the eastern seaboard, and then basically make its way up the eastern seaboard like this. Now with this, I think it's going to be able to pull down a lot of cold air from Canada, like a lot of cold air that could potentially make it all the way down to Texas in this scenario. So this is big news for snow lovers. I think this season is going to be a really big snow maker, honestly. So let's talk about all these different areas. So in the Rocky Mountains, in the upper plains, into a lot of these northern states, Iowa, Nebraska, Denver, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, all these areas are going to be dealing with a very cold and snowy winter. And I think with this jet stream digging so far deep, it's really going to be able to pull down this cold air. So yeah, that's that area. The next area that we're going to discuss is the southeast. I think the southeast is going to be a very stormy and warm winter like usual, with periods of severe weather. This includes anything from tornadoes to just your general severe weather threats. The next area we'll go into is the Ohio Valley into the Midwest, which in the Central Plains, we were dealing with a wetter sort of winter because of this jet stream just lining up in between warm and cold. So it's going to be kind of that right in between. So any winter storms that we get, there will be snow, but there will also be a lot of mixed precipitation, including sleet and all sorts of other precipitation. Next area we're going to go into is the Pacific Northwest. This area is going to be experiencing a wet winter because of constant low pressure systems riding up the seaboard. This is going to create an atmospheric river, possibly, that's going to just train in all that moisture, and it's just going to affect them significantly. Of course, there will be snow in the higher terrains, but I think it's going to be a wet winter with that divide, with the cold air just north of it and the warm air just south of it. So it's going to be right in that in between. So lots of different precipitation there as well. The next is the warm and dry sector. So this is the southwestern areas of the United States of America. This includes San Francisco, San Diego, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona as well. This area will be likely experiencing a warm and dry winter, as usually these places are typically dry. Maybe a scattered shower or thunderstorm here and there, but we won't be dealing with any significant storms, especially with all those wildfires going on, which they definitely need significant rain from that, which it's definitely possible with this atmospheric river potentially leading to some more atmospheric moisture coming in and just creating some more rain for them. The last area we're going to go over is the Northeast. I think the Northeast has a big potential of major cold and some, well, not major cold like the experienced area up in the northern plains, but I think we'll be dealing with some sort of cold winter. The coldest months I think are going to be between January and March, where we will experience likely those polar I don't know what they call them, but the polar air that comes in from Canada and just basically just dives down and just creates major cold. So you'll have those cold spells, but I think it may be a little bit more mild, but I'm not thinking that this winter. I think it's going to be a very cold and snowy winter. So I think the temperatures will be between, typically with a snowstorm, if any of these lows to just develop down here, which that's what I'm seeing already, and it's just able to ride that jet stream and basically take this northerly track. I think the cold air ushering down like this, and the low pressure up here riding that jet stream, and warm air down here. It's going to create that mixed bag of precipitation just offshore, but it's going to be able to stay relatively all snow for the most part. And again, with that cold temperatures, that will definitely create some snowy conditions. I also think blizzards are definitely possible, along with nor'easters. I think the mountains will likely see the most precipitation as far as snow goes. I do think the southern New England into the southern state of Maine, we will see mostly snow, but there will also be some mixed precipitation that gets in there, but it will be a relatively cold and snowy winter, I do think. So yeah, that's my total winter forecast for the 2024 into 2025 season. Tell me what you guys thought about this whole map and how I did, but I think that jet stream is really going to line up right about where it is right here. This jet stream is going to fluctuate a lot, so we're going to see it basically take all sorts of turn. It may even take a turn like this and dig way down south and look kind of like this. This will just drag that cold air right down, probably as far south as Texas at some point, and probably not. And the storms will likely take this track as well, since that jet stream is just a little bit too far south. They'll likely go like this, or go like this, for at least the next couple of months. That includes the November, December, much of December, and then that jet stream probably will eventually make its way down here and finally stationize itself and basically create that that 2013 setup where we saw that La Nina with these low pressure systems able to ride up the eastern seaboard and just pummel that snow across New England. I think that's definitely a possibility. So yeah. Alright, now we're going to get right into the normal weather. We got a nor'easter most likely coming in the next 10 days for the New England area. Models are are recognizing this and relatively stable with it so far. So we're going to get right into that right now. Alright, here we are. So we're using the European model, since it's been pretty good with winter storms, obviously now with hurricanes, because it had a full-blown major hurricane that was going to be Hurricane Sarah. Unfortunately, my forecast, I thought my opinion on that is I thought the amount of warm sea temperatures in the mid 80s, along with that jet stream creating those wind shears just north of the Gulf of Mexico, well, the southern Gulf of Mexico anyways, would be able to create that blockage wall where that low pressure would not be able to grab that low pressure system, and that hurricane, or potentially a hurricane, would be able to make its way into the southern state of Florida, and at least a Category 1 to a Category 3 hurricane. I thought that was going to be possible. But unfortunately fortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately, because we don't want another hurricane hitting Florida at all. That's not what we want at all in that sort of situation at all. But I definitely thought it was a possibility, but it did not happen the way I thought it was going to. That low pressure system just dragged it and just took it right into over Florida as a very weak system with just a variety of just a disorganized. Well, it's not even disorganized. It's just associated with the low pressure system digging into this low pressure system right here. That's eventually going to create some much needed rainfall for the Northeast. But this is your tropical, or not even, I don't even think it's tropical at this point. It's lost those tropical characteristics, I would think. And it doesn't even have any circulation with it anymore. But this will continue, these two will combine, and it will drag up this way, and we'll see, this low pressure is just going to come over here and it's just going to stall here for a few days and just drive that rain right into the Northeast. Much needed rain. Now we're not talking like a foot of rain, we're talking like between a half an inch and maybe closer to 2 or 3 inches of rain. So not enough to cause flooding, but enough to get a good soaking rain in. But yeah, this this tropical storm will eventually make its way and combine with this front and just go up this way like forecasted, and you'll see that in a minute. But we're not going to use the GFS because the GFS isn't really showing a major nor'easter for the northeast, but it does have that kind of idea. But we'll have to keep an eye on the setup really well, because that's going to really depend on whether or not the northeast actually sees a significant snowstorm within the next 10 days. So yeah, let's get right into it here. So we're gonna obviously you can see this low pressure system right here, or bombogenesis, bomb cyclone, is just creating an atmospheric river of just rainfall and snowfall, and it's just pummeling it. And they're expected to get upwards of 100 inches of snow, so that's crazy. And this is just going to stall here. And just for the record, if you don't know what a bomb cyclone is, or bombogenesis is, basically a low pressure system has to drop at least 24 millibars in the period of 24 hours in order to become one. And it gained like 60. It dropped like 60 millibars in 24 hours. So that's like twice the size of what you would expect. That's if you're not aware, that's equivalent of a Category 3 or Category 4 hurricane, which is quite literally insane, quite crazy, really crazy. So then we got this low pressure system, as I mentioned. It's just going to stall here, and it's just going to drive that rain. It's just going to basically spin. You're going to notice some snow on the backside, and that's why we have some winter storm warnings already in place, in winter storm watches. But right now, I wouldn't be surprised if they even put a flood watch across the state of Maine and maybe into portions of southern New England, as that rain is just going to keep on streaming in that moisture from the south off the east coast. You're going to notice this just keeps on driving. It's just going to stall there, and then eventually it'll make its way out of here. And then we get into a relatively calm pattern with mostly dry air across the entire country. Maybe some isolated showers and snowfall in the Rockies and into the west coast. We also have a low pressure system here that's relatively weak. As you can see, there's nothing really to it. We have another high pressure system, so it's going to create quite the warm and dry period. But you're going to notice things will get quite active in the next 6 days. As you're going to notice, there goes that front. That's associated with that front. That's just going to go off to the east. And then you're going to notice this front right here, this little low pressure system right here. This is what we have to watch for. And I believe that jet stream is kind of like this. It's like kind of like this. I believe the jet stream is like this. So we're going to watch this low pressure system right here, and we're just going to watch it closely, okay? Watch it, and then it digs down there, and then here we go, and then right here, this is your classic, it's not a nor'easter classic setup, but it is a winter storm, probably creating some pretty treacherous driving for the Ohio Valley and into the Midwest with some pretty hefty snowfall. These purples in here are actually very heavy snowfall. So we're going to watch the system. Is it's going to basically go this way, and it's going to drag up this way. So we're going to watch it very closely. Let's line it back up, and then it's just going to take that pattern right there, and it's just going to ride up the eastern seaboard, and you're going to see that mixed precipitation is just enough offshore that it won't be a big of a problem, and then that snow continues to go through, and then we have another system, a little clipper system that falls apart, and then we get into that same situation again, and then here we go again with the moisture. This will likely cause severe weather again sometime in the next 2 weeks. Little low pressure systems, not that relatively strong, but just some little clipper systems, and then another clipper system that's going to be associated with this front. Relatively weak systems that will just bring some lake effect snowfall and some snowfall into the Canada area, and that's pretty much that. Now we're going to take a look at the GFS model, which kind of has a different idea. Alright, here we are with the GFS model. It's got the same situation with that cold front up here, not really causing, or I should say, it's not causing this low pressure right here isn't causing that much, but it's going to eventually dig and grab this moisture and bring it up here, and it's just going to stall out here. It's just going to do a little dance, and then here we got this other little clipper system. This is the bombogenesis that we were talking about. It's going to continue to bring in that atmospheric river of moisture and just keep on pumping that snow and that rain and that wind into what looks to be the northern side of Canada and the Rockies as well, those higher terrains. So we're gonna watch this closely. So that low pressure system up in the Pacific Northwest is just gonna stall there, not really do much. That little Clipper system is just, that little storm in the northeast is just gonna do its little spin. And like I said, that moisture is just gonna wrap around, and it's finally gonna get out of here. But as we get into later next week, we'll notice these Clipper systems coming through the northeast. And then here we go. This is the storm I was talking about. So it's got the similar setup, maybe a little bit farther south. This is typically what we would see with a nor'easter, something that develops right here or right in the Gulf of Mexico. And then there's also got some of this other snow and rainfall. But you're going to notice it's got a similar track. Now notice, I believe the jet stream is still something like this. I believe it's still something like this. And we're going to watch what happens. So this is the American model, or the GFS, and you'll notice that storm finally gathers its system, and it just grazes Massachusetts and parts of Pennsylvania and the southern New England and northeast with some of that heavier snow, but it misses Maine, which didn't show in the other model, and then that pattern continues basically. And and then we might even have another system come through on December 5th, but that jet stream looks to be kind of a little bit farther north, which would mean a little bit of a mixed bag precipitation for much of the northeast, with a lot of mixed precipitation. There's a lot of snow on the northern side of it, and this is a big front, something like this. And that warm front is probably like this, just dragging that warm air, which is causing that mixed precipitation. So we're going to look at the snowfall amounts, or the rain. Well, yeah, we'll go for the snowfall amounts first. But I actually want to go with the rainfall amounts first. Here's your rainfall amounts for the next. You'll notice the next several weeks, much of the precipitation is just happening in the exact position of where that atmospheric river bringing all that moisture in is happening, and there's a lot of, probably between 3 and 6 inches. So that's a lot of rainfall, or 1 and 2 inches. But you're gonna notice we're just gonna ride this all the way through, just like that. This is the good look at the next several weeks, or next couple of weeks. Most of the rain is just happening along the western seaboard, and that's because of these atmospheric rivers bringing on that precipitation, and these upper level lows just bringing in loads of precipitation. And you notice a lot of it is also happening over in the northeast, where a lot of these low pressure systems are just going to be digging, and then they're just going to be going this way, probably another low right here. They'll take different tracks. Some will go this way, some will go this way, and others will go this way. But now we're going to take a look at the snowfall, because I'm really interested to see how much snowfall the northeast is going to get out of the system, because this would likely be the first actual nor'easter that brings a lot of hefty snowfall to the northeast. So we're going to drag out the winter weather fork, the winter snowfall. Alright, here we are with the snowfall. You'll notice today most of that snowfall is happening right in the northern sector of California, looking at probably between, that looks like a good 12 solid inches, maybe even close to 30 inches of snow there. I mean, so that's a lot of snowfall. So we're just gonna find that low pressure system. We'll be able to find it. There it is, right there. Let's see what happens. So there it goes, and then there it goes. So this is what we're looking at right here. All this snowfall right here. So let's see how much snowfall we're looking at here. That's a lot of snowfall, between 8 and close to 20 inches of snow there. So that's a good nor'easter right there. And then you'll notice a lot of the heftier amounts are happening up in the northwest and into California, because just of those atmospheric rivers bringing in all that precipitation, varieties of different kinds. So that's a lot of snowfall there. And then we're going to look at the GFS model. So the GFS model has been relatively good this year, but we're going to see what happens. It doesn't look see, this is why I don't like the GFS model, because it's not very good with snowfall. It tends to overlook things. But you'll notice it's doing pretty good with the snowfall so far in the Pacific Northwest and in California, dealing with probably between anywhere from 1 to 12 inches of snow, which is about normal. And then I think we're just going to watch this entire area right here. This is where I think the snowfall is going to land. It's going to bring us a little bit farther south, but we'll see. So it follows that general track, and you're going to notice. And then it doesn't show as much snowfall in this model, but it does show some. It shows mostly in those rockier terrains and into Pennsylvania where the highest amounts are going to be, but you also notice obviously it's going to be cranking out a lot of snow in the California area, into the Pacific Northwest, and even into portions of southern Canada, where those are going to be just pounded with snowfall, which they typically are year round. So yeah, there's that. Now we're going to take a look at the jet stream. Alright, here we have the jet stream. So you'll notice this low pressure system over here. Basically, that's the same bombogenesis. Then you're going to see this large trough right here, just digging down. This will eventually make its way this way. It's going to bring loads of rain to the northeast, and this will bring tons of snowfall there. So here we go. So there's that first trough that first low pressure system comes through, and it just circles around there. And then come the 28th, we're looking for that. There it is, right there. And there's that strong low pressure system that develops in the Central Plains. This could probably cause some severe weather with just that strong southerly flow, and then that northerly winds coming in the back end. This is your low pressure system right here, and it's going to make its way this way. So then that comes through, and look at those winds. That's a powerful nor'easter right there. And then that goes through, and then a bunch of other clipper systems just come through, just like that. Now we're going to look at the winds. So yeah, it's not very good winds, so we can't really see what's going on with that. Couldn't find any the wind gusts or anything, because the windy.com model doesn't go out that far. So yeah, that's really all I have for this video. So if you guys did enjoy this video, and if you guys would like to see more content like this related around weather and other things like weather, please make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to never miss another upload. And without further ado, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.